Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to a new light bulb. Why willpower always fail? Willpower is like trying to having this sheer force in order to implement a behavior or introduce a new like habit or behavior. It always fail. We always say, okay, I'm gonna try to sleep early tomorrow and end up being a night owl. I will start the diet tomorrow. I will start eating tomorrow healthy, and then I end up slipping into unhealthy snacks or smoking. You can just scale this to anything like you wish or desire to alter or change within your life or any outcome you want to achieve. But why willpower does not work is because we need to understand how the brain works. Actually, the brain, all the prefrontal cortex here, it's responsible for the executive function, which is responsible for impulse control, for responsible for the planning. All of these like behaviors, it requires its consciousness. It requires level to be aware of all the behaviors. Whereas all the entrenched like the autopilot, habits and behaviors and thoughts that like produce I believe that produce certain type of feelings, feeling, and then feelings transform into like an action, a behavior, and then a behavior result in outcome impacting your life. All of these are entrenched in the autopilot unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is very powerful. That's why willpower and the force it does not work. It will always win. Why? Because like you, whenever you try to practice sheer force in order to override the unconscious mind always win because it's older, faster, stronger. So it's like it's trying to for the prefrontal cortex to win over the unconscious mind that's that exists within the basal ganglia. It's like something nearly to impossible because this is older, it's entrenched since a long time and stronger. So how we can just then rewire our any behavior or any thought or belief that results in emotion and action is basically there is a neural pathway that entrenched. It's like a trench, or it's like a road or entrenched pathway within your brain. You cannot defy this. You cannot fight it. If you did, you would fall into depression. You fall into you will feel bad because your brain is conditioned to these behavior. Plus also there is kind of immediate your brain always favors immediate rewards rather than like long-term benefits. For example, like if the immediate reward of scrolling and binge watching like like a movie or a TV series till 3 a.m. in the morning versus vis-a-vis like the benefits or not doing this behavior, the brain will always is always wired to favor and to the instant here and now like reward. So the best way is to try to substitute such act. First substitution, if you got for instance, like if you're someone who takes like many breaks at work between just a cigarette break, perhaps between every 2 hours or an hour. It's not about like you can't just stop this behavior or eliminate it, otherwise things when life will be easy. The way you can just think through it and navigate through it to alter it or to change it is to keep the same cues and the reward, but the change the keep the same neural pathway because you cannot override it. It's very difficult because this is stronger, older, as we mentioned earlier. But you can change the reward. It's not about the cigarette, by the way. People who takes breaks, it's about the transitioning between the chaotic, the noise, the stressful, tension, friction environment into a relaxed mode, calm, quiet, focus, compose. It's about composing. So how about for instance changing trying to change alternate the cigarettes with a simple walk in the garden or having an iced coffee or iced tea wherever, just because it's more it's beyond the gratification of smoking. It's something to do with the transitioning. So you need to keep the same momentum and the same reward, but just substitute. And another thing is about another solution, like I would propose, is like self-concept. Our brain, there is called cognitive dissonance. You can research it, but it's basically, in simple terms, our brain always tries to keep consistency between what you believe in and your self-concept and your actions. Always try to mirror it and always try to make it identical. What you believe in, what you believe who you are is I something, and with your actions always try to make it identical, and always trying to create not create like a friction between both. So not to drive you crazy, and also to in order not to give you any sense of like, you know, emotional pain or tension or discomfort. So that's why it always match both. The self-concept is always match with the action. So there's a solution. We can change the self-concept. So instead of saying, "No, I'm a binge eater," I'm like, you know, I'm like, I can't stop smoking, or I'm a night owl, or I don't have self-control, something. And instead of doing this, just reframe or re-identify the narrative, your self-narrative, your self-concept, and just update your self-concept in a way like, okay, I am a night owl, which I am a night owl. So I can say just like, which is true. You cannot say you're not, because then your brain will tell you you're a liar, which is like you will reinforce more this belief system. You say, okay, I'm a night owl, I like staying up at night, however I'm learning to better my sleep, or learning to, you know, to go to bed early, or to do like, you know, introduce the new habits in order to sleep early. Or for instance, you know, I lack a self-control, I don't have self-control, so I'm learning to have like better techniques and different tools to have a better self-control, or I am introducing this new tool or behavior, or that, like, just like don't match your, just try to update your self-concept and bring a new self-narrative or new identity. This will help you a lot. And just in also, like, you know, instead of reverting to willpower, which will almost never like work, and which create a lot of conflicting thoughts, shattered thoughts, and it makes you go into this, like, create a huge discomfort and stress and unnecessarily tension. So I'll see you in the next episode. If you have any comments, just you can like leave it in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.